Good morning, children. Today we are moving to new chapter, chapter 5. We are going to study in this chapter about coal and petroleum. Okay, so we know that coal and petroleum are natural resources which is need in our daily life. So in this class we are going to see about natural resources. We use various material for our basic needs, isn't it? So some of them are found in nature, some have been made by human efforts. Yes? So the resources which are obtained from nature is called as natural resources, or the things which obtained naturally from the earth is called as natural resources. So example for natural resources: air, water, soil, sunlight, coal, petroleum, etc. Now, types of natural resources. There are two types of natural resources. They are inexhaustible natural resources and exhaustible natural resources. Okay, so what are the two types of natural resources? Inexhaustible natural resources and exhaustible natural resources. So now we are going to see what is meant by inexhaustible natural resources. So these resources are present in unlimited quantity. So if we are using continuously also, it is available unlimitedly. Okay, so these resources are present in unlimited quantity and are not likely to be exhausted, not likely to be depleted by human activities. If once we are using also, we will get that continuously, because the availability of these resources are unlimited. Okay, so inexhaustible natural resources means the resources which are present in unlimited quantity. Example, sunlight. Yes, sunlight, we every day we are getting sunlight. It is unlimited. Yes, and air also unlimited source we are getting from our atmosphere, as from our environment. So these are example for inexhaustible natural resources. So what is meant by exhaustible natural resources? The amount of these resources in nature is limited. Okay, they can be exhausted by human activities. Exhaustible means they can be used and utilized and depleted by human. So it will take more time for its formation. Okay, so the amount of these resources in nature is limited only. Examples: forest, coal, petroleum, minerals, wildlife, natural gas, etc. So these are example for exhaustible natural resources. For example, forest trees, if you are cutting, means after many days only we will get the particular natural resources. Yes, so these are inexhaustible natural resources. In the same way, coal, petroleum, they are exhaustible natural, because for its formation they will take millions of years. So they are they are exhaustible natural resources. So they are resources which are available in limited quantity in nature is called exhaustible natural resources. They can be exhausted by human activities. Now, fuels. So fuels, it is a substance which burns in air to produce energy without releasing harmful gases in large quantity. So these are the substances which burns in air to produce heat energy without releasing the harmful gases. Now, what are the classification of fuels? Fuels can be classified into two types. They are natural fuels and derived fuels. Natural fuels is also called as primary fuels, and derived fuel is also called as secondary fuels. So, if a fuel is present in its natural state, it is called as natural fuel. If a fuel is processed, that means modified to improve its quality, it is called as derived fuels. Okay, so naturally available fuel is called as natural fuel, and if the fuel is processed to improve its quality, it is called as derived fuels. Okay, these are the two classification of fuels. So what are the two classification of fuels? Fuels can be classified into two types. Yes, what are they? Natural fuels and derived fuels. Natural fuels means if a fuel is present in its natural state, it is called as natural fuel. If a fuel is processed to improve its quality, it is called as derived fuels. Now, what is the calorific value of a fuel? So calorific value of fuel is the amount of heat. So we know fuel is a substance which will burns in air. Calorific value means amount of heat which is liberated by the complete burning of a unit mass or volume of a fuel. Okay, so calorific value means the amount of heat which is produced by the complete burning of fuel is called as calorific value of fuel. So for liquid or gaseous fuels, volume of fuel is considered. For solid fuels, mass of the fuel is considered to find out the calorific value. Okay, so calorific value means amount of heat which is liberated during the burning of fuels is called as calorific value. In liquid and in gaseous fuels, it is calculated based on volume of the fuel, and in solid fuels it is calculated based on mass of the fuel. So there is a formula to calculate the calorific value, that is calorific value of calorific value of fuel is equal to heat divided by kg. That means heat is heat liberated during the burning of the particular solid fuel. So if it is a solid fuel, it will be measured in terms of mass. No, the unit of mass is kg. Okay, so heat divided by the amount of fuel consumed in kg. So heat is measured in terms of kilojoules. Now characteristics of an ideal fuel. So one good ideal fuel means the good fuel, as the fuel which is suitable for our use. So ideal fuel should have a high calorific value. So high calorific value means it should produce the lot of energy when it's burning, and it should not cause any pollution or should not produce harmful gases on combustion. So it should not produce pollution or should not produce harmful gas on combustion. Combustion means what, children? Burning of fuel. Then the fuel should be of low cost and easily available. Next, it should be easy to handle, easy to store and transport. Okay, it should be easy to handle, store and transport. Then it should have moderate ignition temperature. Okay, it should have a moderate ignition temperature and it should have a moderate rate of combustion. Okay, so these are the characteristics of an ideal fuel. So once again we will see it should have a high calorific value, should not cause any pollution or harmful gases, should not release on combustion, should be of low cost and easily available, and it should be easy to handle and store and transport, and it should have a moderate ignition temperature. It should have a moderate rate of combustion. So these are about the characteristics of ideal fuel. Now we are moving to fossil fuels. So what is meant by fossil fuels? Exhaustible natural resource. Okay, fossil fuels are exhaustible natural resources. Example for fossil fuels are coal, petroleum, and natural gas which is formed from the dead and decayed remains of living organism. Okay, so the natural resource or the exhaustible natural resource which is formed from the dead remains of living organisms are called as fossils. Okay, so the fuel which is formed from the fossils is called as fossil fuels. Understood? So fossil fuel means it is an exhaustible natural resources which is formed from the dead remains of living organism. Example for fossil fuels is coal, petroleum and natural gas. Okay. So in next class we can see about the coal, petroleum. They are fossil fuels we have studied. So about coal and petroleum briefly we can learn in next class. I hope that you all understand about this today's topic. So if you have any doubt you can ask children. Thank you.